little hippie babies. How are you guys doing? I hope you're doing well. And let me start off this video by saying hello. I'm back. I had a failed vlog and it broke my heart. I got a little depressy and I was like, aw, but I am determined to not let it push me down. I really want to be creative on BookTube. I want to be here, so I'm going to be here. So I'm back. I was like literally gone for less than 2 weeks, whatever. I'm mad about it. Anyways, I have a fun video planned for you today, and yeah, I've already filmed it, so I'm positive that this one will make it to you, okay? Okay, thank you. So if you don't know this about me, because I don't know if I really talk about it on this channel or whatever, but I am in the service industry, have been in the service industry for almost 8-ish years. And 7 of those years have been me bartending. So I have bartended most of my adult career life, I guess. And I would say I'm quite fabulous at making some drinks. And yeah, so I thought today would be fun to, or it's not really today, just over the course of a couple days. I have 3 books that I'm interested in, but don't know which one I want to read first. So I thought I would come up with like a cocktail that I thought fit the vibe of the book, make said cocktail, drink it, and read the first chapter of the book, and then decide what book I want to read. I think it's gonna be a lot of fun. I think we're gonna have a good time, and yeah. To be fair, one of the books that I've chose and the drink I've chose is not a cocktail, but it is an alcoholic beverage. So I just think it fits the vibe of the book. Okay, I have chosen this. But I would like to start off with saying that I am over 21 and I drink responsibly, and so should you. Please be 21. If you are not, don't be drinking. Okay, let's move on. Here are the books that I have chosen to read the first chapter of. These are the 3 books. So yeah, Tender is the Flesh by Augustine. Oh gosh, names I swear are gonna be the death of me. I swear. Okay, hold on. Yeah, I am not even gonna be close to getting that last name correct. Bazterika? Okay, but yeah, so Tender is the Flesh. It's translated by Sarah Moss. So this is, let me just read you the little blurb. The international sensation about dysphoria, world in which humans are being processed for food and society is driven into predators and prey. The other little blurb is, working at a local processing plant, Marcos is in the business of slaughtering humans, though no one calls them that anymore. That's all I need to know, my friends. That's all I need to know. That is fascinating. Yeah, so it's basically, we're following a man, Marcos, who is, his job is to process and harvest humans for human consumption. But then he is given a gift of one of said humans that he's supposed to process, or I'm not really sure like why he is giving the care of this human, but basically we're gonna follow that journey and him kind of getting more invested in this person who ultimately is supposed to be taken in and slaughtered. And I find that concept very, very fascinating. The next book I'll be reading, the first chapter, is Bury Your Gaze by Chuck Tingle? tingle, I think. So this is about, okay, let's just read the blurb of this one too. Misha knows that chasing success in Hollywood can be hell. This is about a writer who is gaining success for his TV show, but he is pulled into a meeting that pretty much tells him he must bury his gays. He has to kill his gays off in his show, and he's kind of faced with a choice, you know? And then on top of that, weird shit starts happening, okay? So he starts just dealing with some weird things going on. Yeah, so basically we know he refuses to do that. He's like, screw you, I'm not doing that. And weird shit starts happening to him afterwards. And is it a consequence to him refusing, or is it something else? We shall see. And the last book that we're going to be reading the first chapter of and pairing it with a drink is Mr. Magic by Kirsten White. And this is a, let me read the blurb of this one too. Who is Mr. Magic? Former child star reunite to uncover tragedy that ended their show and discover the secrets of its enigmatic host in the dark supernatural thriller from the #1 New York Times bestseller author of Hyde. I haven't read that. But this plot sounds interesting. I love a good thriller paranormal book. And so yeah, basically a bunch of child stars get together to talk about what was going on with their show and why it ended so abruptly and what happened afterwards. That also sounds good, but also I love a good ghost story. So these are the 3 books that I'll be reading, but let's talk about the drinks I have chosen to pair with. I'll start with easiest to least easiest, I think, drink-wise, of what I'm thinking. So, Mr. Magic, the easiest drink I paired it with, and the reason why I paired it with. I chose to pair this with a beer, because to me, it's about castmates and crew getting together and reminiscing on a project that they all worked on. And when I kind of started thinking about this, and originally when I did this, I didn't realize that it was actors. I thought it was the crew getting together. So to me, that just feels like a beer, like just a bunch of crew getting together, having a beer after work and discussing their long day. And so we shall see if that was an accurate depiction for the first chapter at least. Did I pick accurately is what I really mean. The next book, Bury Your Gays, I picked a cocktail that I felt was very, you know, I felt like, okay, gays love to party, they love to drink, at least my gays do, I love you. And I know we love a good drink, we love a good tea session, we love a good time. And I just recently was introduced, because I'm a tequila girly, to tequila Sprite. So I will be making a little twist on tequila Sprite, and I think it's the perfect drink for Bury Your Gays, as I think they would love it. It's one of those drinks you get at a club or you get with your, you know, your girlies, and you're just having a good old time spilling that tea, baby. So that's the drink I have chosen for that. And then the most complicated and the most unique drink I have chosen to make for this, oh, I'm making these, duh. Did I say that? I think so. Is going to be paired with Tender as the Flesh, and that is going to be a dirty margarita. So it's a twist on a dirty martini, but instead of just like vodka, I'm going to be making a tequila-based drink, pretty close to a margarita, but with a little bit of a big old twist with it. So it's gonna be fun, hopefully. Hopefully delicious, and hopefully a good time. That's, you know, that's what we want, is a good time. So yeah, we will be reading the first chapter of everyone, drinking a drink. I keep saying cocktails, but really I have also picked a beer. So we'll be drinking a drink, reading the first chapter, and then discussing. So let's do it. Yes. Cheers, 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 cheers. And I hope you have a good time. Oh, I'm really good at this. Here are my predictions on what I think I'll end up. I'm gonna read all 3 of them, but what I think I'm gonna choose first to read. This is my prediction. And this is just of what my vibes and what I know of the plot. I'm pretty sure it's gonna be Bury Your Gaze. One, the ratings on this book is outrageously good. And hello, it just sounds like a good time. Plus I love the cover, okay? And then my next thought is that it would be Tender as the Flesh. And then yeah, third, Mr. Magic. Not that I don't want to read this one, it's just that out of all the plots, I think that's how it would go. But I'm not sure until I read the first chapter. I've never actually done this either. It's like read the first chapter and then pick in one. I've just picked up a book and I'm like, this is the one we're reading. So yeah. So that is my prediction. Comment down below what you think I would read and or what you think your choice for yourself would be. So let's get into this. Let's get to the first book and the first drink and the first chapter. See you there. Okay, these are the ingredients you're gonna need for the twist on the tequila Sprite. Just any kind of tequila you have in the freezer, Champoy, and Sprite. The first thing you're gonna wanna do is fill your glass full of ice. A lot of ice, okay? Trust me on this. Fill your glass with ice. Then you're gonna wanna take your tequila, again, whatever tequila you have. I have Añejo, that's my favorite. And you're gonna really struggle getting the cap off, like really struggle. Eventually get it, and you can do 1.25 ounces, 1.5 ounces, 2 ounces, whatever you fancy. I did 1.25 ounces today. But yeah, however strong you want your drink, that's how much you should do. Then you're gonna just easy peasy close that bottle up, take your Sprite. I have Vanilla Frost, but you can use whatever Sprite you have on hand, and really just fill your glass pretty much full. You're going to want to leave about 1 inch from the top because you're going to top it with Champoy. So I'm going to continue to fill because, yeah, you don't want too much room. I even go to look to see if I need more here in a second because you don't want too much. Yeah, but I'm actually going to top it off with ice instead. Then I'm going to take the Champoy. I'm going to do 1/2 ounce of the black raspberry liqueur, and I'm just going to float that on top of the tequila Sprite. And look how pretty that is. And yeah, there you go. Twist on a tequila Sprite. Cheers. Okay, hi friends. As you should have already seen in the previous clip, I have paired Bury Your Gaze with a twist on a tequila Sprite. This is the reason. Tequila Sprite is a party drink, and I'm sorry, but I love my gays. They are partiers, at least my gays are. I think that this was the perfect drink for this book, and it is I did 1.25 ounces of Añejo tequila, excuse you, and I love Añejo. It's my favorite. It's more vanilla-y. It's just better, I think, in my personal opinion. I'm a tequila girly, so as you'll see in this video. But yeah, so I just did 1.25 ounces of tequila. I did a ton of ice because tequila loves its ice. Please, your drinks need ice. Take it from a bartender. So yeah, 1.25 ounces of tequila, a ton of ice, topped it with a Vanilla Frost Sprite. You can do regular Sprite. I just have vanilla Sprite and topped it with vanilla Sprite. Normally these would probably be served in the club in a short glass unless you ask for a tall. I want a tall because I got things to do. And then I topped it with a Chamboy, I don't know why I said it the way I just said it. A Chamboy floater, which is a black raspberry liqueur. And this drink is such a fun twist on a classic tequila Sprite, which I didn't even think of tequila Sprite as a drink until very recently when I had a coworker friend recommend me one. And I've tried this and I was like, okay, I see the vibe. But let me tell you, this just goes so well. Not only are the colors kind of vibing, but just the drink itself is giving me what I need for this book. So we're gonna read the first chapter, drink a little drinky drink, and I will check in soon. Cheers. I'm back real quick. I realized that I cheersed you and then didn't take a sip, and that is so rude of me. So let's try that again. Cheers, 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 cheers. Delish. Okay, let's get into this first chapter. Okay, so I just got to a break in the first chapter. I'm on page 9. I think this is 22 pages and 21 pages. And so, not much has happened. It's only 9 pages in. But basically, this man, I'm assuming, they haven't actually really said. Oh, well, his name is Misha, which can I pause and take a moment to say how much I love the name Misha. A coworker of mine's boyfriend, his boyfriend had the name Misha, and I've never heard that name before until then, and I was like, wow, I love that name. Main character, Misha. Love that for us, because then I get to read it and be like, oh, I love that name. Anyways, he's driving onto like the Hollywood plot where I don't know if they said this, the back lot of like Hollywood. Is that a thing? I don't know. But he's driving on there. They're upping security. This is not spoils because it's literally the first 9 pages. We meet his best friend whose name is Tana. She seems like she has an interesting sense of style, and love that. What's her name? Tana? Now I'm questioning everything. Tara. Okay, close enough. When we meet her best friend Tara, she's talking about why the security is being updated, and then basically we find out that they have produced a movie using the likeness of an actor who passed away 3 years prior to actually filming the movie. So that is the creepiest thing. Like, that is something that's happening, and AI and all that stuff. So we already know, I think things are gonna get creepy, but that's what's happening so far. Let's continue on. I'm gonna get a little snack because nothing says a little drink and some salt. I got these like pizza Cheeto flavors. Cheeto puff pizza flavor. They're alright. They're no Cheetos, but let's grab them. I'm going very far away. Okay, let's continue to drink, read, and have a snack. In the kitchen yet again. I have filled up my water because stay hydrated and you just had a drink, so have some water. I'm making a snack. Have you guys ever had these Cheesinos? I think this is just the brand. Everything's going wrong. I think that's just the brand, but they're like Brazilian cheese rolls. Love them. love them. They're so good. Clearly, I've eaten a whole bag and I continue to get them. I love them so much. Let's talk about the first chapter of Bury Your Gaze while I go brush my hair. Okay, so like I said when I took a little quick check-in with the first chapter, he's pulling up to the studio and it's almost like Warren Brothers. It's like a play on Warren. I forget the name of it already, but it's like a play on, wow, should have came in and prepared. It's like a play on Warren's Brothers studio, right? So he's going there because he was requested to go there by the, like, a higher up, right? So he like drives in, realizes that they're doing like so much security things. Then we learn about like the AI thing. Then, and I don't think this is spoils because it's the first chapter. So, and I don't know how much it, I haven't read anything. So if it is spoils, I'm very sorry. But we then learn that, wow, have a knot. We learn that we have a big ass knot. Okay. We then learn that he, focus, take a sip of water. I just had a tequila soda, okay? My mind's a little scattered. Anyways, we learn Misha is going in to see an executive, the big guy. And they have known each other for a while, but it does not seem like Misha likes him. And he definitely doesn't want to be there. And Misha tells him that, like, right off the bat, because, like, the executive is trying to, like, small talk him, but he's like, I don't want small talk, just tell me why I'm here. And we learn that the movie that's coming out with the AI likeness of the man that died 3 years ago, he's like, he basically, Misha tells the guy, like, well, Chris wouldn't have done that because he never played a villain. And so you know right away that they've done something that the real person wouldn't have ever done. And the executive's response is like, well, now he can. That's fucked up. Okay, that's fucked up. But that's when you learn, and again, I don't think this is a spoilsies because it's on the back of the freaking book, and it's also called Bury Your Gaze. It's basically when you learn why he's at the meeting. They want him to kill off his two main characters, and they want him to bring in a straight white man. And that's what the algorithm, what? That's what the algorithm says will sell and make good money. So it's all about money, you know? He's pissed. He's like, fuck off, I'm not doing that. So he leaves, and he's like, well, the executive is like, well then, see you in court, pretty much. And so he's pissed. He's going to his car where he runs into a famous cartoonist that's been in the industry for years. He's beloved. And he's having an interaction with a stylist, a lady stylist, and an interaction that is not going well for the stylist. But then something happens that had me so shocked and laughing because it's kind of funny. It's kind of funny and kind of like, karma is a motherfucking piano. I don't know, that might be spoilsies, but whatever. I'm not giving it too much away. But it was very funny, and yeah. So that's the first book of Drink a Drink. Read the first chapter. Bury Your Gaze, Tequila, Sprite. However, how am I feeling? End of the chapter, hilarious. Do I feel like this book might piss me off because it has very much the vibes of what Hollywood is really about? What Hollywood pisses me off. Like the dark side of Hollywood, I guess. yeah, yeah. But it also seems funny and campy. So we shall see. We have 2 more books to go. I might read the first chapter tonight of the next book, but I haven't decided. It really depends on how the rest of my night goes. Yeah. Okay. So I will see you very, very soon with another book and another drink. Woohoo! Okay. Check in soon, I guess. See you then. Bye. Okay. Hi, friends. I'm talking a little bit quiet because it's kind of late out and I got home a little bit late. But I am going to read the next book and its chapter, and I'm going to get the next drink. This one's easy. This is easy, easy, easy. And I'll explain to you why I chose it after I do it. Let's do it. Okay. This was silly. Okay, peep my awesome sleep shirt. And I do not care that we're way past Halloween. I love it and it's comfy. This is what you're gonna need for a beer. I mean, this is pretty simple. Grab your favorite beer, open it, pour it in a cold glass. Or don't. It's up to you. Cheers. Okay. I chose to pair Mr. Magic with a beer because it just feels as if cast members or crew of a TV production going out after a long day of shooting and stuff and grabbing a beer. I don't know, it just felt right, so I went with it. A beer for Mr. Magic. We'll see when we get into this if that was the right pairing. I could be wrong. Anyways, easy peasy drink this time around. Cheers, 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 cheers. And let's take a sip. The Dr. Pepper of beers. Okay, let's read this first chapter. beginning to feel like I have a bit of a pattern. Kitchen, bathroom, kitchen, library is what I call it, or reading room, bathroom. It's a pattern. Anywho, I'm gonna take off my face because it's 12 o'clock. 12 o'clock. I read the epilogue and the first chapter of Mr. Magic, and I was so right about the beer. I was so right about the beer, okay? And I should have said this for Bury Your Gaze. I was so right about the Sprite. The tequila Sprite. I'm nailing this, but I was wrong about thinking it was production crew getting together. I thought it was production crew coming together, but no. It's child stars reuniting after like 30 years, I think. And so I think this one's gonna be a bit spooky ghost story, like a bit poltergeisty maybe. No, I'm thinking it's gonna be like ghost demon. What? I think it's gonna be demon. She's beering. She had a beer. Don't judge her. Anyways, yeah, I think it's gonna be about a demon. Do I have a ponytail? No, that's my watch. Anyhow, I think this one's gonna be about a demon. But I will say, I'm seeing parallels between Bury Your Gaze and Mr. Magic, which I kind of knew those were gonna be parallelly. Goodness, can she talk? But I'm seeing parallels in the fact that I'm gonna start looking crazy here in a second. Of course, they're both kind of dealing with Hollywood, but I also think, hi Travis, skip me. I also think that, so I think Mr. Magic is going to be about a demon, at the very least a ghost, but I also think Bury Your Gaze has some kind of paranormal activity going on. I just couldn't tell exactly what though. Cursed film project kind of thing. So, if you're wondering what this goop is on my hand, it's Super Berry Dream Cleansing Balm by Youth to the People. Excuse me? Can you see? Oh, there it goes. Yeah. And it's a great, well, focus, back on me. It's a great makeup remover, but it will sting the shit out of your eyes. And that's just honest truth. But yeah, so I think there are going to be parallels between Bury Your Gaze and Mr. Magic with paranormal activity, okay? The third book I'm gonna read, not anywhere near that. Not anywhere near that. So, yeah, clowning myself. Hi! Shut up, stop it. Anyways, don't know why I did this on camera. I did. Also, ew, never had this on my lips that long. Anyways, so I do think that those two, very similar. Next book we're about to read, far different. Far different, babe. Okay, God, what am I doing? Just be done with this. What are my thoughts so far? What am I vibing with at the moment? And where am I? Is what we're talking about. So far, here's what I'm thinking. Mr. Magic seems to be much shorter chapters. However, the epilogue, I was like, Yeah, tell me more. The first chapter, I was still like, yeah, tell me more, but also I was like, what? The way the chapter ended, it was so abrupt and weird. And I was like, but is he? So I guess I had to kind of continue to read it to figure out, like, the main character. Is it? Yeah, main character, our female lead, Val. She seems like a girly who would clock off and have a nice cold beer. So nailed it. So far, I don't know, it's weird because like so far I'm intrigued with both. The ending of the first chapter of Bury Your Gaze was just like I can't wait to see what happens next. But the premise of Mr. Magic is intriguing me. So where am I at? They're like this is horrible, but this is true. Mr. Magic is just like slightly, like a hair over, only because short chapters. That's horrible. I know. But it's true. I love a short chapter. So, but we have one more to go, which is way off in the left field. Here you go, baby. Always have visitors, always have friends. My kitty cat's always with me. Anyways, it's way off in the left field, this next book. You already know what it is because I've introed this, but why am I like not talking about it then if you already know what it is? That's so silly. I just haven't recorded my intro, so I'm like not saying it, but why would I not say it? Tender is the Flesh, which I don't think that's paranormal at all, but the premise of that one has me gooped. What? What does that even mean? I've never said that in my life. I said it. But it does. Whatever it means, I'm there with that book. I cannot wait. So I will see you, not today. Oh, actually, technically, I will see you today with another drink. This time it's going to be a little bit of an actual drink. The bartender in me says you can't get away with this unless you make some drink, girl. But I have come up with the perfect drink, I think, for this book, and I can't wait to share it with you. Did I drool? I think so. I'm gonna go. It's time for me to go to bed, apparently. So, see you in the morning. Well, actually, see you in the not morning because I'm not drinking in the morning. See you in the afternoon. The evening. The evening. See you in the evening. Bye. Okay, these are the ingredients you'll need for this next cocktail. I did a salt and pepper rim. That is a chili liqueur. You can use it or you don't have to use it. The añejo tequila and feta cheese stuffed olives. You can get any kind of green stuffed olives you want, but that is what I have for the ingredients. Oh yeah, and a lime and some cups. Don't forget the lime. That's important. Now you take some of the lime and rim the glass, of course, and you're just going to dunk it into that salt, pepper. Oh, and I did a little chili powder I forgot to mention, just because that's the vibe of this drink. And then, yeah, you're going to kind of pat the bottom to get the excess off, and then I go ahead and throw my glass into the freezer just to kind of chill it, but also to like solidify that lime washed rim. It's not lime washed. I don't know why I said that. It's just a rim. Throw it in the freezer and I come back. Goodbye towel. Throw that out of the way. Now you're going to get your shaker. In the big part of the shaker,
you're going to want to put 1.5 ounces or 1.25 ounces or 2 ounces, whatever you fancy, however strong you want your drink. I think for this one, I did 1.5 ounces. After you have that in your glass, you're going to top that off. You're going to grab your liqueur if you're using it or not. It's very good. I suggest using it. It also gives it a nice little spice. And I did 1/2 ounce for this as well. And so into the tin it goes. Next thing you're going to want to do is grab your olives. And I use my tongs or use your fingers, whatever, to throw a couple into the shaker with the ingredients. And then I squeeze my lime. It's going to be 1/2 ounce or 1/2 lime. So that's about 1 ounce of lime juice. Watch me struggle because these can kind of be tough depending on how good your lime is. Not that limes are bad, just like how ripe it is, I suppose I should say. So yeah, I really juiced that as much as possible and struggled. Really struggled. Threw the lime away, came back, and you're going to want to grab your olive juice. And I did about 1/2 ounce of the olive juice straight into the tin again. Then you're going to want to close that up. Good job. Take the smaller part of the shaker and fill it full of ice. After you've got that full of ice, you're going to want to also fill your glass that you have chilling with ice as well. Really struggling over here. I have ice everywhere apparently. So, okay, now you can go ahead and basically seal that up and shake the shit out of it. This is a margarita. You really want to shake it for at least 30 seconds. This is incredibly important to shake, really emulsify all of those flavors and really kind of beat those olives up a little bit too. Grab your cup from the freezer. That should be full of ice as well. And we're going to strain. You could use a strainer, whatever you feel like. I'm going to spill a little bit here. Never have done that before. But of course, there's a first for everything. Get mad at yourself and try again. Spill a little bit more, but then finally get what you need to get into the glass. Okay, once you have it pretty much strained, and you can kind of go back and forth if you're doing it this way. Listen, this is just a silly way to do it. I just have always done this as a bartender. Use a strainer. It's going to be so much faster and easier, clearly. And look at me, straining the rest out with a strainer. Good job. I don't know. Okay, next, let's go ahead and talk garnish. I'm going to go ahead and grab a couple more olives from the jar. Really struggle putting them onto this toothpick. But yeah, you just want to kind of grab a couple olives and stuff them onto a toothpick. And now you have a fun little garnish for your drink. Also the lime. Always serve a margarita with a lime. It just isn't right without a lime. And yeah, there you have it. A dirty margarita. Cheers.
Hello, friends. Okay, it's time to read book number 3, and I am, of course, doing Tender as the Flesh and I paired it with probably the strongest cocktail, the most unique cocktail, and the more advanced cocktail to make, I guess you could say, because the other two, well, one's a beer, you just pour it. Even if you don't want to do that, you could just drink it out of the bottle. I prefer a cold glass though. The second one was an easy just build over ice. This one, you had to put a little arm work in, as you've already seen. So, we're gonna read the first chapter and drink the dirty margarita. And I paired this one with Tender as the Flesh because, well, it feels the most accurate for this book. It feels like it fits the vibe, as this is like kind of in like a dystopia world where they are eating humans, I'm pretty sure, or harvesting humans, whatever that means, but I'm pretty sure that means they're eating them. And so I just felt like a dirty margarita would be perfect for the first chapter. And this is the shortest chapter we're gonna read. That's why I made a smaller drink. Honestly, you could, there's not much you can add to this drink to build it bigger. Because like if you're doing a margarita and you don't want a classic margarita, you want it to be bigger, you can put juices in it like pineapple juice, or even just a lot of sweet and sour or citrus mix. Of course that adds a lot of sugar to it, but with a dirty margarita, there isn't much more you could put in it without throwing the flavor off. I haven't really put much thought into more things. Let's see. I'm trying to think, is there some type of juice or something you could add into a dirty margarita? Not that I think of. Anyways, this one's very salty, very, I don't want to say toxic wasty, but it's like, it feels very perfect for this, the flavor profile, okay? Okay, let's get into it. Where's my drink? I've made it. I've put it over here. But yeah, let's get into it. Cheers, 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 cheers. And let's read the first chapter, shall we? I think we shall. Cheers. Oh, I almost stabbed myself. I love it, okay? I know most people would be like, what the fuck are you drinking? But a salty margarita with that like tang to it, love it. Love it, okay? You cannot tell me different. All right, let's get reading. You guys, that first chapter was wild. Wild. Okay, I still have like a full drink, to be honest, because it was literally 8 pages and I read it so fast. Hello, I'm up here. Wow, I have a choice to make, but I think I already know my choice. Okay, let me sip, let me discuss. Okay, excuse me, I'm trying to stir with my little toothpick. Olive. Tender is the Flesh. Let's talk about it. Like I said before I started, it's about a dystopia world. We're gonna follow a man who works in the factory where they produce and harvest special meats. I don't think any of this is spoilsies because it's in the fucking plot. It's the first chapter, and yeah. But they call it special meats. And yeah, they are doing this because a virus apparently went through all the animals and they were no longer able to use them as meat, but they became dangerous to like humans, right? So they became poisonous to humans. And so their solution in this book. Oh God, our solution. Please, let it not be our solution. We have so many better alternatives. So if animals become poisonous to us, there is such thing as called like a vegetarian diet. I know not everyone would love it, but it's better than eating people, let's be honest. Anywho, yeah, so their solution is to start breeding and yeah, breeding humans specifically for the consumption of people. Ooh! Ooh! Okay, okay. Let me finish my drink, let me think on it, and I'm gonna come back to you with the book I have chosen, the one I am going to read. Let's do it. All right, I have finished the drink. It's just ice. I've got an olive, a feta olive. What are my thoughts? Where am I at? Let's talk about it. Well, 3 books, and I have a choice to make. What am I thinking? Where's my head at? We started with Bury Your Gaze, and the ending of the chapter, I was like, oh my. But the lead up to it, I was kind of like, oh my. Second book that we read, or the first chapter of, was Mr. Magic. Didn't understand who she was, why she was important, and why we were talking about what we were talking about, but the plot of it has me interested. Plot, first chapter, everything. Also, baby chapters, it looks like. Let's find out. Let's just pick a random chapter and see if it stays what I think. Yeah, okay. So first chapter had me hooked. The plot has me hooked. The idea of it has me hooked. So out of the 3, can you guess? Out of the 3, can you guess which one I'm gonna choose? I'll wait. I shall wait. Anywho, yeah, I'm gonna read Tender is the Flesh. I mean, I want to read all 3, but if I was going to read any of them with the first chapter, it's gonna be this one. I need to know. I need to know. So let's do it, shall we? I think we shall. So yeah, Tender is the Flesh is my pick. which is actually kind of surprising to me, but once I got into that first chapter, I was like, oh, I already know. Girl already knows. I truly did think that Bury Your Gaze was what was going to draw my heart, but the first chapter was the longest chapter I read, and I love a short chapter. Will I judge a book on that? Just a little bit. Just a little bit. But also the first chapter didn't really draw me in up until the very end. So am I still gonna read this? Hell yeah. It's gonna be a good book. I know that. People love this book and I know I'm gonna love this book. But out of the 3 that I read, this is the one I'm feeling. So we're gonna read Tenders the Flesh. And I'm quite excited. I'm quite excited to see where this goes, what happens, and how we feel at the end of it anyways. So yeah. Misha knows that Misha knows that change. Can she even read? I don't think she can.